My name is Mark Polton. I'm a real estate investor in the greater Charlotte, North Carolina area. And today is Sunday, and you probably aren't familiar with this, but Ben Shapiro does a special interview, and it comes out on Sundays. And this week it was with Yang is the guy's name. He's a Democratic presidential candidate for the 2020 election. Businessman, Asian guy, and interesting, reasonable man, at least during the interview. And they started, one of his proposals is to give everybody a universal basic income, UBI check of $1,000 a month. And he thinks that that isn't going to give them dignity, or it's not going to give them fulfillment, but it's going to, set up a situation where they can do that. I disagree with that assertion, but it got me thinking about Robert Kiyosaki and a conversation he had with his rich dad about being addicted to a paycheck. I think that, and I don't have really clear rational thoughts on this, so I may be all over the place. If you look at Hurricane Katrina in New Orleans, and people were told to evacuate, what's the reality of the situation? A lot of people won't, but there is a lot of speculation that, when they were told to evacuate, 3 days later is when government checks were going to start coming in, and people didn't want to miss out on their government check. And to me, that seems odd. I would think that it would be direct deposited, and once again, that's me putting my value system and my life that I've lived onto other people. A lot of our renters don't have bank accounts, which is just shocking to me, but it's the reality of the situation. And what are you going to do? Check cashing places are popular in poor neighborhoods for a reason. I don't quite understand why that in pawn shops, but I digress a little bit, I suppose. And so I started thinking about, what's going to happen if everybody starts getting a $1,000 check? My kid's going to get it too. Are we going to get $48,000 a year if we have two kids, my wife and I? That's some. It's not chump change. We have renters that live off less for sure, and what's the incentive to work, really? I don't see how fast food restaurants or table waiters or garbage men, even, I don't even know what they make, but why would somebody work for $10 an hour when they're getting $12,000 a year? I think that it would, for a large percentage of the population, enable them to not work because they're going to be addicted to this $1,000 a month. I would take it, but I would use it to pay off debt, and then I would use it to buy more income properties, income producing assets, properties. But looking back on my life, I've been working in computers since roughly 97. It was probably 1997 when I first started. So that's 20 plus years. And for most of that, and to some degree even now, I'm addicted to that paycheck. Don't particularly want to work. Used to enjoy what I did. Don't really enjoy it anymore. For the most part. Sometimes I do, but it's not what I'm just really tired of it, actually. So that's why I'm buying old real estate, so that I don't have to, I don't have to work a job that I don't particularly want to do. But certainly, most of that 20 years, that paycheck has, it's always been there. I don't want to say it's easy, but it's not hard. Show up to work, do your job, go home, you get paid. I haven't really found much fulfillment in it, except maybe in the first few years when I was learning and really kind of coming into my own as an IT guy. But now, I talked to my wife, and before she met me, she just assumed she was going to work till she's 65. I have a coworker who's going to work till he's 70. I'm 45 now. If I'm still working at 50, man, just slit my wrist, put a bullet in my head. I just can't think of anything that I would despise more than that. I wanted to be retired at 38. It's now 45. It looks like probably closer to 50, depending on what happens. We'll see. But what are your thoughts on being addicted to a paycheck, universal basic income? I don't see anything. I don't see a path where, you know, government's going to be able to hand out money and we're going to have a positive consequence and a system that's not going to grow out of control. So these are my thoughts. What are your thoughts? Leave them in the comments section below. I'll try to link Ben Shapiro's video that he had with Yang. David Yang, I think maybe his name. And you know, if you want to check it out, I hope you go out there and live the You Won't Stop Me lifestyle. I'm heading right now to my very first property. We finished up all the siding work, and very excited to get this thing finished. Hopefully the deck will be done this week, and we'll get that sucker rented out. Wish you success.